Home by trike. Here we go. Hey, welcome back to Richie Rich Abroad with yours truly, Richie Rich. Today, another video with the Godfather. And this time, talking to a young lady who is a 31-year-old single mother. I chose this video specifically because I see a lot of channels out there that are bashing single mothers. And I never want to bash single mothers, but I do want to bring to their attention that their circumstances are going to be different. And sometimes some of them are a little bit delusional about what they have to offer and what they're looking for. So I thought this was a great video. Let's get into it. But of course, before we do, fans, keep in mind, please, we are shooting to get 5,000 subscribers by the month of June. I know it's a big undertaking, but we know we can do it with your help. So please smash that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the like button and that notification button as well. Without any further ado, let's get it cracking.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm 31. I would like to get married. Okay. I do have a child, so I do have one count against me. Oh yeah, no, I've never been married. I am currently like in a dating field, dating people, meeting people, but hopefully like soon, you know, me and the right one find each other. I do, yes.
Okay. You're in Atlanta?
No. Yes.
Okay, so how old is your child?
She is 6.
Ooh.
Her name's Kona.
Okay, why didn't you marry the dad?
I mean, her dad did not get married because we had a lot of issues dealing with infidelity, lying, cheating, the typical. But
How much lying and cheating were you doing?
It wasn't me. It was her dad. We met maybe at like 22. He was 23. So we were very young. And so we did go back and forth at the dating and trying to work it out. But when we got to the last straw, we did have a serious conversation of like, okay, like, how can we make this work? You know? But he really felt like he wanted me to be with someone who wanted the same things that I wanted because he just didn't want the same thing. We just didn't want the same things.
So I got to ask the question then, why have the child?
That's the $1 million question, ain't it? Like, if you can't get along with the father, why would you make a baby with the father and have this baby come into the world and you're going to take care of him separately for the next 18 plus years? Make that make sense to me.
So that's an interesting story. And
you got to shorten it up though, because this is going to come up over and over again because I think you ladies need to understand.
So we were very young while we were together and we had that puppy love and we both agreed to
hold on. You got pregnant at what age?
23.
You're not young. Young is 14. You're an adult.
Well, yes. Absolutely.
So you ladies are going to have to understand that men today are not accepting these things that my generation accepted. They're wanting to know why you didn't marry the father, and they're listening to see what your answers are. And the answers you typically give as women are insufficient. I was young. That automatically cancels most of you out because they're like, she's making excuses.
Right. It just means you ain't holding yourself accountable.
Men want to hear strict accountability because what you're really looking for is not a husband. You're looking for a stepfather.
Yeah.
And that's a shitty deal for most men. All liability, no asset. So I'm gonna be real. You women with children have to overcome a lot. And oversell themselves and make themselves such a good deal that a man needs to take a risk on you.
The step that we both took was very backwards.
So you didn't get pregnant accidentally? You did it on purpose?
We agreed we wanted to procreate and make a child. Oh, wow. But for me, my common sense thing was like, well, are we going to get married first? You know?
You screwed. You screwed.
But I learned something from that.
I'm just be honest, man. I'll be honest. I'm being honest. You're gonna tell some man, oh yeah, I purposely got pregnant outside of marriage. Woo! Let me back up. I'm being a little hyperbolic. Do you want to have any more kids?
I would like to have one more, but if I don't, I will be okay with that. Because
All
kids
right.
are a lot of work
Yep.
mentally.
So what percentage of the family financial load do you want to have to be responsible for your entire lifetime?
Mm.
Honestly, I'm a hard worker. I wouldn't mind working 50-50, but if my husband wanted me to stay at home, be a stay-at-home.
Why you got to go off on a whole diatribe? Just answer the question. 20%, 30%, 50%. Just can I just get an answer?
Mom, maybe 20%.
I asked you a specific question.
20%. 20%.
You want to just have to be responsible for 20%.
Yes.
So in other words, you want what most women want, a provider male.
Absolutely.
Okay. And you got to understand that these men are in short supply. They're limited.
Right?
And as a woman with a child, who you say I knew full well I was getting pregnant on purpose outside of marriage, a guy's going to have to look at you like you're crazy. Most of them. They may not say it, but they're going to be like, why'd you do that? Because the kind of man you're talking about.
I really thought we was going to get married one day. Okay, I really did.
Well, no, but that's not. But that's no. If you really thought you was going to get married, you should have waited. See, that's what I'm saying.
I should have.
Well, but see, okay, because the kind of man you're talking about to provide a lifestyle for, because a man would want his own children. How much money do you think that man's going to need to make to provide for a family of 4?
Probably between 80,000 to 100,000.
No.
Living in Atlanta.
80,000, man. No.
Way more. You know? Way more.
No. $80,000? $80,000 is comfortable for one person, for one single adult in Atlanta. For a family of 3 and a wife who's not responsible for more than 10%, talk about a man making around 300 to 350. So for 2, you're talking $250,000.
I don't know if I don't know if I really agree with the $250,000, but at least $150. I mean, at least 150,000. But 80,000, baby, I don't know what kind of lifestyle you talking about. But look, kudos to you, because apparently you ain't expecting to live large. But for 4 people, but for 3 people, it's gonna be at least 150 between the 2 of y'all. It's gonna be at least 150 for him, and whatever else you make to add to it.
I mean, let me give you an example. What do you do for a living?
I'm a hairstylist.
All right. Whatever you make, he'd have to replace your income.
Right.
Plus provide for 2 children.
Right.
Oh, hell no.
What your kid doing up at 1 o'clock in the morning?
He's supposed to be asleep.
Mom, I need your help to spell spring gum in my game.
Well, I'm on a phone call. Thank you.
How old is that boy? How old is that boy?
Girl. She's 6.
Hey, yo, it is 1 o'clock in the morning. Why? Okay, let's understand this. This is a single mom coming on Kevin Samuels' show talking about why she should have a high value man. This is the reason why you're not getting a high value man. If you can't keep your kid in bed at 1 o'clock in the morning, then you ain't managing your household that well. And you got some work to do, baby, before you add a husband, a stepdaddy to the mix, expecting him to support and provide and protect. Come on, baby. Come on now.
At 1 o'clock in the morning?
Right.
She was supposed to be asleep. She just graduated from kindergarten. I let her stay up late last night, but...
Okay. All right. Okay. I don't know. I'd have been terrified to come to my mama's house, my mama's room at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I can't do what I would like to do right now on camera, but
I'm just saying. At 1 o'clock in the morning, I would have been making no noise.
He can hear you go to bed.
She can't
You're
know
embarrassing me. You go to bed now.
Mommy, I need you to spell something. Can you spell? I need to go to my friend's party.
Get it under control, Mama. It's not a good look.
Not a good look, Kona. Go on the road.
Please spell it.
So what this tells me is that this happens regularly, because she's doing it like look, this is what I do. Like why I gotta go in the bed? Why I gotta go to bed right now? This is what we normally do, ain't it, Mama? And Mom's trying to act like this is like out of the norm. This is not outside of the norm, Mom. This is how you rock, and it's what it is. And like Kevin Samuel said, it's not a good look. This is not going to help your case. This is not going to help your cause.
Do you want to see your friend tomorrow?
I do,
Okay, go in the room.
No,
She's 6.
All right, I'm gonna use this as a teaching lesson.
I'm listening.
Your 6-year-old has no fear of you. So
At times.
just listen, man. I just need you. There's no way in hell I would have got up at 1 o'clock in the morning as a child and let my mother know I was even awake. Because I know I'd be in trouble, much less come into the room unannounced, start making demands.
I'm working on that. I'm working on that.
So I need you, and this is what I mean. You ladies need to understand. That's your child.
Right.
That a man coming into that would have no authority, no more authority than you do. That's why most men are like, I'm not gonna do that. She can't get that thing under control.
You know what I'm thinking. If you can't get your child under control, what if I'm in the house? What if we all live in one big happy family, and I'm in here beating the cheeks, and your kid want to come in here talking about how do you spell this, how do you spell that at 1 o'clock in the morning? What do you need to spell at 1 o'clock in the morning? Why you need to spell anything? Your ass should be in bed, sleep at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to beat these cheeks. Take care of this, handle this. Why do I even have to say anything? You should never have to say this. Stuff like this should never happen. Should never happen. Period.
I get it. You're on camera. This and
I'm
that.
trying.
But what I'm saying.
I know.
But okay. What am I saying?
You're asking me what are you saying?
Yeah, because I keep trying to say what I'm saying. You keep saying,
basically, like if a man will have to come into the situation and have to he won't really have a lot of say over her. I would allow him to have say over that because he would be a parent in the household, but it would be a lot to come into. Now, her father is still in her life. He spends time with her. He gets his visitation, sees her every week, both grandparents on both sides, but it would be considered a little bit of a baggage to come into.
No, a lot.
A lot of baggage.
Because he has a choice.
This is why I need you
either
ladies
come
to
into it or
understand.
not.
I need you ladies to understand that your children are your children. But a man, that is a liability because I'm listening at it from a man's side. And I'm sitting here looking. I'm like, why is this kid up at 1 o'clock in the morning? Why is this kid making this? And why are you negotiating? Why does this kid even feel like he should be able to talk to you at 1 o'clock in the morning without the fear of God fire being slapped out of their mouth? Why are they talking back? And then why don't they walk out pouting without? It's like,
right.
That's how men think. We are disciplined.
I'm working on that. I'll be honest with you. I don't let her run the house, and I'm working with
my
that.
daughter didn't do that.
It's an everyday thing.
No, I understand that my daughter didn't do that. Not with me. She tried it. She did it with her mom. She did it with me. She did it that didn't happen because
I always think about
it's
that.
Different, and it's different, and that's what I'm saying. You may not like how I'm saying it, and you're saying I'm working on it, whatever. But what I'm saying is, I'm a man in the public. I'm telling you, men are auditioning for stepfathers, and if that's what's already going on, it's like, okay, cool, we can kick it. But most people aren't gonna want to even deal with that. That's why most men just go with the one with no kids, because that's not even in there. Working on it, not working on it. Your best efforts, whatever. Like you said, her father's in her life. That's another man a man has to deal with. I've had to deal with another man.
And ladies, understand this. The man is not going to just come out and say, no, I ain't going to kick it with you no more. He's going to keep smashing. He's going to act like everything's cool, but it's not cool because that's not how we rock. But he ain't going to take you serious. If you can't control your kid is a liability to him. He's got to pay money. He's got to help you take care, help you raise that kid. And the kid is acting up, or the kid's up at 1 o'clock in the morning because you're not a good mom, because you're afraid to regulate and place some boundaries on the kid. No, that's not an ideal situation for any man. He's gonna keep smashing, but then he's gonna start looking elsewhere. And that's how it happens. You gotta get that under control.
With regard to the kid, and it's not a good thing. I don't think you ladies understand how much of you're asking for most men. That's why I'm not marrying the man you have a baby with is so so problematic.
Trust me, we really tried,
I
and
would
it
get
just
it.
wasn't going to work.
Okay, so let's keep on.
Mhm.
You don't want to have to pay more than 20% of the bills. You're still going to you're going to be looking for a man that's earning the top 10% of earners. No matter how we slice it, you're still looking for the top 10% of men.
I
That's
will be okay with paying 50-50, like doing that. But if he
Mhm.
is someone that wanted me to stay home with the kids, cool. Now,
Okay.
my industry that I'm
But
in,
yeah, but paying 50-50. But what does the average black man make in America?
It doesn't matter. You need to be comfortable paying 50-50 because that's what you're going to get.
like I think between like 40 or 50,000, I believe.
That's
I
a
heard
big
you say
range.
before.
That's a big range. What do you think it is?
I would think it's 40 if I look at my father
Yeah.
or
Mm-hmm.
the men that I know.
40,500. Do you make more than that?
I'm around 40.
All right. So you guys are, if you're both earning that, you both have to work, and then another kid come into that. Um, you know, I would say that it'll be more likely to get a guy who's 50-50.
Right.
Because higher earning men just have standards. They have standards they're not going to budge on. Now, when it comes to marriage, there's a lot of stuff men will say to date and to have sex. When it comes to wives, it's pretty strict.
And I'm not saying I'm going for a high value man per se, but you know.
I get it. But what I'm saying is that, have you ever dated you know, I would just say that you probably have better luck with somebody who's going to be more flexible on household standards.
Right.
High earners, high achievers, guys who are making $70,000, $80,000 a year, they know they're in the top 15% of men.
Exactly.
They know that, and they can actually, they have their pick. And here's the reality: just like a woman who's 25 years old, who's hot, attractive, has her pick of the litter of men. Men who are in the top earners have their pick of the litter of women. So
absolutely.
I would just say,
I guess more of my question is like, how do I go about in the dating scene? Like,
well,
I guess
I was
I'm
about to get to
considered to be in the danger zone.
How you go about that is you have to. The first thing you're going to have to explain is how your child is not going to be a liability to any man.
Right.
That's why I focus so much on what happened with your daughter. You got to be able to explain why that is.
It was just like she came in here. I said,
but that's the reality. Okay, and my actual answer, ma'am, is that won't work with a man. The kind of man I'm talking about, high value or average, that won't work. The kind of man we're talking about, I'm even talking about average earning men. Because, yeah,
the volume went down.
You have to get that under control. And it can't be something you're working on. Great. When it's worked out, then get back out into the dating market.
The volume, I think, went down.
What I'm saying is, ultimately, man, it could be something you're working on, but that needs to be addressed. Your house with your daughter is going to have to be stable and under control for the kind of men I'm talking about. That's first before her stepfather. Because I'm just telling you from what I hear from most men, But
right.
And that may not be what you want to hear, but
I'm listening. I'm taking notes. You know, I've dated and been dating, but when it comes down to like when we have that first date or second date, it's like, what are you looking for?
Mm-hmm.
You know, are they really ready looking for marriage? And some of them weren't. Some of them were. Right. But you know, we dated for a couple times, and it's just, you know, I get that it's not about love all the time. But
do you date men with children?
I do.
Yeah. I would say that would be the first thing you want to start doing is dealing with men with kids. Because men with kids tend to be a little bit more
flexible.
Mm-hmm. A little more flexible, more realistic. But yeah. All right. All the best, man. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So there we have it. Shout out to this young lady for how she handled the information that came at her, right? I mean, he was pretty nice and pretty easygoing. He wasn't tough on her like you've seen him be on with so many other women. I mean, you can see a lot of other women are argumentative, combative. They're always making excuses. And yeah, she did some, but how she handled the information was really cool. I mean, there's potential. If she can get that kid situation under control, there is potential for her to find a cool dude. Because the girl wasn't ugly. She wasn't tough on the eyes. And I mean, I don't know about the kid, but at least she had a job. She's willing to contribute. She said she was willing to go 50-50. So maybe there is some hope for a woman like her. A definite big shout out to this young lady for how she handled that, how she took it in, how she just continued to listen and just handle that. So that's the first thing I wanted to say. The second thing is, again, just shout out to the Godfather for how he handles this situation. I mean, there's sometimes when he's so tough on women, usually the ones who are argumentative and combative and come in fighting with some kind of agenda. He took it easy on her. He just gave the information. Look, it's going to be tough. You're a single mom. You're trying to get a high value man, or you're trying to get a man of value. And it's going to be tough because they have choices, especially a man who makes over $80,000. It is not going to be easy to do that because that man has lots of choices. Let me know what you think about the video. How do you feel about it? Ladies and single moms, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I'm so curious to hear what y'all got to say about this video. Your opinion of what Kevin Samuels has to say, your opinion about this girl and her situation, and why her damn kid was up at 1 o'clock in the morning. Leave your questions, leave your comments, and for sure, hit that subscriber button. Help us get to 5,000 subscribers. If you like our videos, we have so much other content coming at you, and we got other content that we've already put out. So, fans, we love you. It's your boy, Richie Rich, for Richie Rich Abroad. Deuces.